win. Number 4 on the list of how can you ensure sales success and scalability of your sales operation is to optimize your sales resources. Now, one of the things is that with any process, resources are going to be limited and bottlenecks are going to happen. There's going to be inefficiencies, there's going to be gaps. Somebody else had posted about that, talking about the resource optimization in a sales process. And it's such a valid point. They did a great job talking about that. Now, tools and technologies can come in to streamline things. Going back to what I said a little bit ago, make sure that you have the fundamentals solid, because again, you think that a tool and technology is going to help you optimize. It could help optimize the wrong thing or help optimize too many things. Or what I've seen before is that you bring in tools and technology and it optimizes one area and creates a bottleneck at a different point because now you've sped something up way too fast that somebody else can't handle it, right? And so it causes a mess down the road. So make sure you optimize your sales resources. Now, what could that look like? Well, again, you've got to map out your process. That's why that was number 1 on this list. And it's such an important thing, even though I could tell literally people skipping down and looking at other things or making comments on other parts because those are easier. Sales process is number 1. And then you've got to look at the resources. What do you have for marketing? What do you have for sales? What do you have for sales support? One of the biggest things, and this is a big miss that I see with a lot of companies, is they think that somebody can do everything. Nobody can do everything, right? If you have a strong salesperson who's great at communication, great at building relationships, they're solid at closing deals, right? They're solid at all the sales related activities. There's a really good chance they are not very good in the CRM with paperwork, with sometimes attention to detail. That's kind of a gross overgeneralization, but sometimes that's true. They just want to talk to people. They're really good at talking to people. They don't want to deal with the rest of that stuff, right? If you happen to have people like that on your team, and it makes sense and it's valuable enough to you to keep them in the zone all the time, then what can you do to bring in other resources? Or who else do you have on your team that can take away those admin things, the tasks, the stuff that they do? You want that salesperson at the plate as much as possible. And so what can you take off with other people on the team with technology and tools? This is where the technology and tools really come into play, because you want to optimize your sales resources, which means I want this person selling. So what can I do to automate emails, or automate and alert for follow-ups on LinkedIn? Or what can I do in the CRM? Or what stuff can I put there, to serve up the research, right? Again, we're living in a great era right now where there's so much information available online. And it's all there. And there's so many tools to help compile that research. You want to find out anything about a company, there are resources you can use, tools and technologies to help compile all that info. So instead of searching and reading and hunting and doing all this, you literally just pop it in. You can look at it, go, okay, I got it. I know what's going on. Now I'm going to call them and I'm going to have a conversation, right? Shortening all that research time. It's not like it used to be. So just make sure as you're building, as you're doing it, you got to optimize, because here's the big thing. If we're talking about scalable sales operations, scalable, when you look at the definition, is something that can scale. As you add more inputs, you get an exponentially larger amount of outputs, right? So it's not about, I hire one salesperson, I get 5 deals. I hire 2 salespeople, I get 10 deals. It's more of, how do I hire 2 salespeople and get 12 deals, right? How can I hire 3 salespeople and get 20 deals? Because I also have marketing, because I have these sales processes. How do I use my resources to do more and more? I mentioned a little bit ago about economy of scale. And the key is, it's not about, if I want to double my sales, I need to double the amount of reps. I need to double the amount of people processing on the back end. Or I need to double the amount of direct mail that I'm sending out if I want to get double the response, the number of response. It's, how do I improve what I'm doing? How do I optimize? How do I coach? How do I get better tools, right? That is the key for them.